syncretists, friends, and lovers of truth. I have my good friend Ray Donnelly with me again. Actually, we've missed a few beats, haven't we, Ray? We've missed a couple of Wednesdays now, and
we have.
Don't want to be doing that because there's a treasure of information every time you're bringing something different to the table. So, yeah, welcome. How have you been?
I've been amazing, brother. God has been good, and I know you've gone through a little hiccup yourself, but you know, in life we have challenges, and those challenges make us better. They make us better people, but when we're going through them, we don't feel like we're making anything better. But you know, there's always a divine plan in all the things that happen in our day and in our life, you know. And I believe firmly if we just keep our focus on, you know, what our truth is, and we work within that divine kind of idea, then I believe all things will work out. You're looking very good, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I must say. And you've got this new do. Wow, the I'm liking the new do. The new you, the new me.
Something different.
The new you. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I think what we'll do, I know we're limited on time today, so I think what we'll do is maybe just give a little snapshot of new me and the products, of course, and understand, you know, the significance of what we have our hands on here is pretty remarkable, very special. And I think that, you know, when you kind of evaluate all the things that we're working towards in our different areas of expertise and family and friends and so on, just bear with me for a second. I just need to pull up, there's a little disclaimer, and there we go. Okay, so basically, first and foremost, it's important that we understand that the statements that we're going to share have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. We don't live in a free planet, unfortunately, at this point in time, but things are going to change. And these products that we're going to speak about, NutraSwish and New Me Skin, these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. So with our little disclaimers out of the way, you know, we can share now, you know, what we have and how special it is. I think today, which we really haven't gone into detail before, I'd like to really discuss what are our options when it comes to glutathione out there in the marketplace, because there are some options. Whether they're viable, you know, that really stands the test of time for each person, because everybody, as you know, Santos, is struggling, whether it's finances, whether it's health, in our daily struggles. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples of what is available currently besides ourselves. And you know, I'm glad that happened, because now I can turn my phone off as well. Okay, so first of all, there is which has been out there for quite some time, a nanoglutathione in a liposomal form. Now, simply lipo stands for fat, so it's fat surrounded, and these liposomal nutrients, there's actually been some recent studies sharing that they're not as good as people were thinking for their health. Now, I mean, these are new studies that are just coming out now. And I guess maybe the reason why they're sharing that now is because liposomal means fat surrounded. And so what they're doing is they're surrounding these nanonutrients with fat. Now, in our bodies, one of the purposes of fat, as we know, is to harbor toxins. So for example, as we have a very toxic environment in both the atmosphere and in the water, the foods with the pesticides and herbicides and all the rest of it, we're constantly bombarding our bodies. In fact, there was a CDC study done where they checked the umbilical cord of women, and unfortunately, they looked for over 200 industrial chemicals, and all 200 were found in the umbilical cord of women. So imagine, like from day one, you and I and others, we are under attack. Our body is under attack more than ever before. We're not living in the 1600s anymore, where the environments were very pristine. We're living in an environment that, between all the different things going on with, spraying in the air and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, everybody knows the drill. Anyone that is awake today knows that, there's something going on out there that is constantly bombarding us. So it makes sense then if we take in a supplement that is fat surrounded. What's in fat? Toxins. So, you're certainly looking at a struggle. And if you want to look at it as a competition, any of the liposomal glutathione products that are out there, the nanonutrients are on average about 100 nanometers in size, which is very, very small, down to about 50 nanometers. If they really know their liposomal technology, it's down to about 50 nanometers. Well, in comparison to what we do with NUMI, well, not we, because I'm an independent member just like you are, Santos. We are not, corporate representatives of NUMI in any way, shape, or form. But what NUMI has done is they have a gentleman, Bert, and Bert Wanacott is a genius when it comes to nanotechnology. He's been working with it for 20 years. And he is the genius behind what's called our hydrostat. And that simply means ultra pure water that is restructured, like beautiful little water cages that hold these vital nanonutrients. But we are not, NUMI is not 50 to 100 nanometers in size. NUMI is down to 10 nanometers or less in size. So we're 5-10 times smaller in particle mass size. Now, in the learning that I've learned, in order for it to cross the blood-brain barrier effortlessly, it has to be 20 nanometers or less. So we fit the bill. These other ones don't. And because they are fat surrounded, I guess everyone do your own research, do your own due diligence in that regard. But I think as you dig deeper and deeper and deeper, this is the hydrostat technology, this nano delivery system is the latest advancement. So it is the evolution of the liposomal, if you will. And what's so beautiful is I know companies that do liposomal and they're charging like close to $100 for a month's supply of any of their nutrients, and for the most part. And what's so beautiful and elegant about NUMI that I'm so grateful to the owners of NUMI, Stephen and Aaron, Ryan and Bert, is the fact that, they keep it real. They keep it affordable for the masses. And, people, they need affordable options. Now, speaking of affordable options, what's the other option besides liposomal? And that, of course, is a glutathione that is in an IV. And IV glutathione, is not nano. So yes, they inject it in you, but something I didn't know until recently and I learned about was that when you do take an IV of glutathione, and by the way, the glutathione in an IV is a medical grade glutathione. It's what's in hospitals and in doctor offices. We use the same medical grade glutathione, not me, but NUMI uses the same medical grade glutathione, but they nanosize it. When you take an IV of glutathione, first of all, you're going to pay anywhere from $100 to $150 per shot. And they are recommended many, many, many times for people that have heavy metal toxicity, because glutathione has always been known to be the master detoxifier of the body. So by having these IV of glutathione, you can help with regards to, mercury toxicity or aluminum toxicity or any heavy metal toxicity challenge you may be encountering. So it is something that doctors will work with you with IVs. But here's the thing about an IV of glutathione, is that it has to actually be disassembled in your blood and then reassembled and get some utilization. But think of it this way, kind of an idea. Think of you inject the IV of glutathione, this medical grade glutathione, but you are actually now, it's like a tennis ball or a golf ball trying to fit through the eye of a needle. And what is so elegant and beautiful about Numi Skin, which is for the face and the body and the skin, and NutraSwish, which is internal. So one internal, one external. Super simple, super easy breezy for everybody to understand. It's not 10, 20, 30 different supplements. It's one internal, one external. And the beauty is that it's nano-sized and it's like a thread. And a thread easily goes through the eye of a needle. Whereas if it's a golf ball or a tennis ball, it's, you're going to get a little bit, but again, it's got to be disassembled and then reassembled, but not with us. And the other beauty of NutraSwish and Numi Skin is they both also have the precursors. Now, there's a precursor called cysteine. Now, there is another form of technology out there where they put precursors of cysteine. You may know one of them called NAC, N-A-C. Very, 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 very popular, because that cysteine basically will get through the gut. A very little amount will, and it will help create, because of the 3 amino acids that make up glutathione, cysteine is the one that we're lacking a lot in our body. So imagine you now get a nanocysteine in our hydrostat, ultra pure water, restructured water. So now you are hydrating the body with water, not fat, with water, which is, of course, oxygen and hydrogen. So those are 2 vital components. And then the third, of course, is this incredible nanoglutathione and nanocysteine. So now no longer do we need NAC. So you go and buy NAC, it's expensive. Now you can just have NutraSwish, and you get not only nanoglutathione, but you also get nanocysteine. So you're going to have glutathione to utilize, and you're also going to help your body produce its own glutathione. And that's some of the other products that are out there. There's some companies that have been around for about 20 years, and they have been selling the precursor glutathione. And those products are $100, $75 to $100 for a month's supply. And all you're getting is a little cysteine that basically will be able to be utilized to make a little bit of glutathione for you. Here, it's $50 if you buy it as a member or as a preferred customer, or you can buy it retail for $65, still very, very affordable for the masses. And, so to me, I look at those 2 things and say, wow, like that is a fascinating understanding. And when I see what they've done, where they've kept it affordable, because I'll tell you, Santos, Numi could be charging $100 to $150 a month for NutraSwish and Numi Skin, and they would get it because of what it does. But I'm so grateful that it's not about money for them. It really is about helping everyday people to get ahead, to be able to regain their health and regain their wealth. Because the beautiful thing about Numi is it is an affiliate membership, so people can share. And if they have a few people ordering it every month, their product is free. If they have a few more, now they're making a couple $100 a month to a couple of $1,000 a month, very effortlessly sharing good things that are very critically important, because we need to detoxify our body tremendously. We need to lower inflammation. And what's so beautiful about NutraSwish, because of the nano-glutathione, and of course the other, the nano turmeric, which is curcumin, it really helps tremendously in lowering inflammation, not only in the body, Santos, but also in the cell. So we're getting cellular inflammation lowered. That's so important. And lastly, we have a product, NutraSwish, that is helping tremendously with the immune system, both protecting the mitochondria DNA, protecting your white T cells, the T cells we call the killer cells. So, you're talking about some pretty significant benefits for the immune system, for inflammation, and for detoxing. Now, that's 3 of the main. There's over 400 different functions that glutathione's responsible for. But what I'd like to do, we have a very special clip that we'd like to share and finish for the day. And this clip is with none other than Stephen K. Scott. He's a celebrity in his own right. He's, I think, done 15 books now, and many of them have been on the New York bestseller as well. He has a ministry helping people that have lost family members in counseling. So, he's a very unique individual, and he has very fortunately been able to get Dr. Gordon Crozier, who is on our medical advisory board for NUMI. And it's a really great little 20 minutes that is worth watching. And what I'll do right now is maybe share my screen. And so let me share that. So can you see my screen now?
Yep, brother. Yep.
So let me just bring up that video. Can you see this video on the screen?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this is Dr. Gordon Crozier, and we have Stephen K. Scott interviewing him back in August. And man, this is a power-packed 20 minutes. So have a listen. And then if you have any questions about it, Santos, otherwise, I know we're a little pressed for time today. So we'll maybe finish up with this.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm going to turn it over quickly to Stephen K. Scott, who's our founder and our mentor and the guy that needs to take us to the next phase of this call. So Steve, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Aaron. And I don't know, where's
I don't see video.
Somebody.
Yeah, I'm above you.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't see the video?
No.
Okay, so hang on. I've got it on the screen, so let me just back it down for a second.
Yeah, you have to press share screen.
I did. So let me just see if I can get back to here.
Maybe turn it off and then turn it on again. Sometimes it doesn't take.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, so let me.
Yes, Skype sometimes doesn't take. So I fix it by turning it off, then turning it on again.
Okay, so hang on a second here. So do I turn the video off and on again, or
no? Skype share screen. Turn it off, then turn it on, and I'll tell you if I can see the video.
Okay, can you see the video now or no?
No.
Okay.
Are you sharing screen?
Let me get back on here. What happened when I did that, it went to a small screen that I see in the top right. I'm scared to turn it off. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Okay, so I'm clicking share screen. Okay, what do you see now? Just me?
No, just your desktop. Nothing. It's just the desktop. The purpley colors.
Okay, all right. So hang on then. Let's see if. Yeah, I don't know. See, I normally don't use this one. And let me just see if I can. Okay, so hang on. I'm in the top right and I see you. Yeah, okay, so that's fine.
Maybe
So
if you take your video off, you'll just take your video off so you're off. Maybe that will help.
Okay, hang on. Yeah. So my video is off now. Okay,
Right.
what do you see now?
Same. Nothing has. You're sharing your screen, right? Oh, hang on. Now that should
Hang
be.
on, hang on. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen now.
Yeah, I still see the same desktop.
Okay, so you're not seeing the video. Is it worth playing just for us to listen to them? Because really, do we really need to see them?
No, let's do it. Let's play it.
I think we just play it, right? So let me
Yeah.
let me just do that then. Okay, hang on. Just gonna put my video back on, and might as well. Hang on. There we go. All right, let me just go ahead and just play it because I think that it's worthy just to listen to it, to be honest with you. So here we go.
On. Can you hear me?
Michael, yeah, we hear you. Oh, there you are. Hooray. First, let me just tell everybody a little bit about you. Gordon is brilliant. Gordon was the head of women's health at University of Kentucky. He got involved in glutathione because he almost lost his career. Passing out while you're doing surgery never helps any surgeon. And his life in medicine was about to be over. And one of our own, Ron and the Dasher, got him on a glutathione supplement that we used to have with another company. And lo and behold, he got his health back. And he started seeing how important glutathione was and getting more and more people on our previous product that we had, different company. And pretty soon he had over 200 patients on his glutathione. And University of Kentucky said, that's it. You either stop doing that or find a new job. And Gordon said, I'm not taking anybody off this stuff. It's changing their lives and helping them. And so he found a new job. He has his own clinic. He is board certified as an OB/GYN. He's also board certified in integrated medicine. He is licensed in the hardest states to get licensed, New York, Florida, and others, in stem cell therapies. He is a doctor's doctor. By the time patients get to him, they've usually had at least 20 other doctors. So doctors will take their patients to a certain level, and when they finally have to say, we can't do anything else with you, we're sorry, Gordon ends up with them, and his patients come from all over the world. His integrated clinic is called the Crozier Clinic, and it is in Orlando, Florida. He is a dear friend. He is a shareholder in NUMI. He's smart enough to know where to put his money, but we're smart enough to know what a blessing to have him. Everybody that knows him respects him. He lectures all over the world to doctors who specialize in functional medicine, integrated medicine, anti-aging medicine. So, Gordon, that's about all I can say because I don't have enough time to say everything I should. Gordon loves the Lord. He has an incredible family. He and Michelle have 6 kids. And with that, he does know more. He has been using glutathione ever since Rhonda Dasher introduced him to glutathione. So let's start out, and you can tell us, Gordon, a little bit about why you love nano glutathione using our hydrostat process.
Well, it's just a completely different amount or a different type of delivery system. And I love the delivery system. You know, there's hundreds of glutathione supplements out there in the market, hundreds of them. But the problem is most of them are not bioavailable. So, you know, as Steve knows, I was begging him for a couple years, you know, to please come up with some kind of nano form of glutathione so that it would be small enough where it could actually cross over into the cell. So all the other forms of glutathione, when you take them in, and I don't care what form they are, First of all, you have to absorb them through the intestinal tract. Well, very little of it absorbs through the intestinal tract. Then you get it into the circulatory system, right? Because that's right across from the gastrointestinal tract. Well, with that, then it's going to circulate, but then you have to get it into the cell because the cellular portion is where you really need the glutathione the most. And so what happens to that glutathione molecule? Well, it has to disassemble. So you have to take the glutamine, the glycine, and the cysteine, they have to come apart. Then they cross over into the cell, then they have to reaccumulate. That doesn't happen with this product. That's why you have such great results. When you give this to athletes, it works. When you give those, like what we heard before, somebody with a brain injury. What's a brain injury? Well, it causes microglial activation, inflammation in the brain. That inflammation has to be calmed down. Well, where does glutathione recycle it in the brain? It recycles in the temporal area of the brain, but it goes throughout the brain to help detoxify, bring down inflammation, monitors the microglial cells to make sure that they're not overinflamed and cause microglial activation, which then causes all forms of neurological diseases. So glutathione is essential for a lot of things. And so that's why I like this product, because you can take this product, it's easily absorbable. You never have anybody who does not tolerate this product, and this product is well tolerated, and it will absorb quickly. If I do have some people with some gastrointestinal issues, sometimes I'll tell them to swish it and then spit it out until I get them to the point where they can swallow it, and then they can swallow it and get even better results. But I like the fact that you're actually swishing it in your mouth and you're getting benefits, and then you swallow it, you get the rest of the benefits. So it's helped a number of my patients, especially those with neurological inflammation, because that's a lot of what I deal with now here in my clinic. As he said, I'm faculty for a company called A4M, which teaches integrative doctors. That's actually backed by George Washington University. So I'm actually part of the faculty from George Washington University at this point, because I do a lot of lecturing for them, and they have to make sure that everything is accurate. You have actually have everything to validate what you say. So I love this product because it actually gives it where you need it. And it will cross over into the cell, so you get instant results, you get instant gratification by energy, by clearing of the mind. A lot of them, my patients say they have cognitive difficulties. I have them switch, and then we do something called a CNS vitals. And the CNS vitals, you can see before and after, you can see a change in their CNS vitals. Then you know what you're dealing with, you know how to go about it, and you know how to get down to the bottom of the thing. I don't just do the NUMI product, I also make sure that they're on a good, correct diet. And what is, so NUMI, the NUMI product, glutathione, is a peptide. So I'm part of the steering committee for the International Peptide Society. So because I'm second in command and I kind of do a lot with that, I understand now, and I just read an article this week that said that glutathione is needed for the use of all the other peptides in your body. So you have like 9,000 different peptides in your body. We know that they all decline as we age. All of them are declining. Glutathione is declining. All of them are declining. So this product is going to help you optimize all peptides. Why? Because those other peptides, you need glutathione because they use a disulfide bond from the glutathione for the other peptides to be utilized correctly. And there's a plethora of different peptides.
Okay, let me repeat in understandable layman terms. Your body makes 9,000 peptides. They are utilized at every level. Some become proteins, some become bipeptides, some become tripeptides. You cannot function without the peptides. They are a critical part of your life, your lifespan, your health, your performance. And glutathione, I used to think, because Gordon told me a long time ago, that 3,000 of them can't even be manufactured without glutathione. Now he informs us that all 9,000 need them. And the problem again becomes delivery. Delivery. You can go buy all the glutathione you want. I don't care what it says on the bottle, but it won't get through the stomach. And if it does, only a little bit gets through, and only a little bit of what gets through gets into the cell. And I was about to speak to 250 doctors at the International Congress of Anti-Aging Doctors in Mexico City. And I called Gordon real quick. I said, Gordon, what's our advantage over IV glutathione? And he said, oh, Steve, it's so easy. He says, IV glutathione, it goes into the blood as glutathione, but once it hits the blood, it breaks it down into glutamine, glycine, and cysteine. And then it has to get to the cell. And once it's into the cell, it has to get into the cytoplasm. And once all three get into the cytoplasm, then it has to be remanufactured. And we're just right into the cell. We go 70 seconds from the time we enter the blood, we've been distributed. And so we avoid all that work. And the other thing with the half-life of glutathione only being 90 minutes once it's in the cell, it has to be replaced. And who wants to get an IV every day at $200 to $400? How much did you charge for IV glutathione, Gordon?
Well, yeah, it's probably around 150 to 200. But I don't, I do a lot of this instead because now I get better benefits than even from the IV glutathione, because a lot of the IV glutathione has a lot of preservatives in. And I have some of my patients are so reactive, they will react to it. And so this is a better form for me to use in conjunction with other IVs, and they get great use. So
And how fast do they typically see something that blows them away as far as its results?
Well, usually it's within 24 hours. So some people, because they might have a high, glutathione is also a detoxifier. So it's one of the best things for, if you do and you look at environmental toxins, they're increasing every day. But there's a lot of environmental toxins. So some of these environmental toxins, they don't even know what to do or how to get them out of the body. Well, I do. And so I have been using this product, and I've been having them do it. So a lot of these people see results really dramatically pretty quick. Some people the same day, some people within the same serving immediately after we give it to them. So as you know, we used it for different things, and I don't want to say specific ailments because I'm not going to go there. Can't do this. But I would use it, and they would immediately come out of whatever they were going through at that time and feel so much better at that time. Because I'll administer it to them right here in my practice when they're sitting here and they're maybe getting a different IV for something else. And I will administer it to them, and it takes a lot of what they're feeling and what they're going through away almost immediately. And some people it has been instantaneous, and there were some people that I had to drip it actually under their tongue, and we saw results almost immediately. When we first were doing some of the initial trials with it, it was phenomenal to me, the results I was getting from some of these people. And a lot of those people are still taking it. They don't want to stop. So I actually gave it to. I spoke on. It was a event called Braintopia. So it was a lot about neurological diseases and neuroinflammation. And I actually gave it to every one of the physicians that were present there at the lecture, listening to me. And most of them were. They couldn't believe it. But some of them, it took their wives to try it for them to say, hey, this is real. And they would feel it instantaneously.
Now, Gordon, you use our spray, correct?
Oh, yes. Look I'm 65, Look at my skin.
Boy, let him see. He really is 65.
Yeah, I can bring my Medicare card out if you want me to, but yeah.
And so it's just, now tell us about, you use it with some athletes as well.
Yeah, I do. So, because I got into powerlifting, and I had a personal best doing this Numi product. So the glutathione and the delivery system was remarkable for me. I was able to bench more than I ever did. I was able to deadlift more than I ever did. So, I'm kind of one of those freaky people that don't want to believe they're getting old. So I want to keep doing things. So, but because of that, I have a lot of athletes that come to me. So what I've noticed is that when they're doing the product, they recover very rapidly, and then they can go back to doing more training, and they'll train. And I want to make sure that they're not overtraining still, even though they're recovering well from this. But they would recover so rapidly, and they noticed that they weren't getting the same injuries that they were getting before. So I had one power lifter was always getting some issues with his shoulder, and we put him on it, and he really got great results from it, and really had no other issues from it. And he was originally going to go to an orthopedic surgeon, sports specialist, because he thought he was going to have something done with it, but it really it went away. So yeah, I use it in all kinds of athletes, and I love what it does for them. And I think it really helps in preventing possible injuries, possibly preventing.
One thing we know about sports injuries, 80% of all sports injuries come when the athlete is either mentally or physically fatigued. And because we see a delay in the onset and the progression of both mental and physical fatigue, especially when if you start to get fatigued. We saw this with Air Force, a test we did with Air Force security teams. Anytime they start to get fatigued, they just swish again and boom, they'd be right back there mentally and physically. So injury rates that are related to fatigue, we would logically think they would be reduced. We're going to have to call this quits for now, but Gordon, can't wait to see you at the Diamond Retreat. Gordon will be our guest lecturer, and he's been a dear friend of mine for 15 years in every way. He is my dear brother in Christ, and thank you for introducing me to Ron Johnson, who's become like a pastor to me, and of course he's chairman of our board and one of our shareholders as well. So with that, Aaron, I'll hand it back to you, bud.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. I wish we could have shown the picture of it, but unfortunately the video, but unfortunately we couldn't, you know, so maybe next time.
Now look, it's the content.
Yes.
The intelligent ones will hear what they need to hear. Everything scientific, everything that validates this form of glutathione absorption, it's all there. Stephen Scott, he's right on the money. He's got the best people in the world.
Yes.
With him. I know the product works. I can't say I've got friends who are taking it, and they're telling me the miraculous things that are happening to them. I can't say the same.
Yes.
But I know that when I do 5 minutes, I always do 5 minutes minimum of swishing.
I also have been swishing longer, even sometimes 10 and 20 minutes now. I know.
Oh, keep it in there as long as you can.
Yeah.
I noticed the detoxing. Sometimes the effect is tiring because you're really, really, really detoxing.
Yes.
And other times it's just frees up your lungs and it's beautiful. But the effect is palpable, and without it, I will not ever go. I've got a box. You know how much I buy. I'll go through a bottle at least every 4 or 5 days. So.
Yes. I think you were going through too much, and because the product is so powerful, simple, but yet so powerful, it, is affecting you in that respect. But there's going to be this too. I want this is your word of knowledge today. This too will pass.
What a beautiful note to end on. Thank you, my good friend Ray, and we'll be regular friends. I'm going to be regular on glutathione. I'm going to be regular. It saved my life. I know it did. And so as long as Ray is patient enough to have me on when I invite him, etc., we'll continue bringing this great treatment to the world. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you all very soon. God bless.
God bless. Take care.
Bye for now.